Hello, what's good everyone? King of the Pit TV, there's ROCKSTEADY signing in. I hope you're blessed, hope you're chilling, hope you're high, as one of my old favourite YouTubers once said. Toad the Wet Sprocket, who the hell is this? This was a recommendation on Patreon by David. I've got a fly buzzing around my head, so I apologise in advance, people. It doesn't want to leave me alone. I got the windows open, but he's having the time of his life, whatever he's up to. Yeah. This record is called Fear, with the backwards approach to the naming of the album on this playlist. Initially, I thought it was a recommendation for the band Fear. I love living in the city, you know. But no, to my pleasant surprise, it wasn't Fear, it's Toad the Wet Sprocket. I don't know what else to say. We've got 12 tracks ahead of us. As always, I want to say one love to everybody who is signing in. I might have a yawn or two as we go along. You know how it is. When I find time to do these listen-throughs, it tends to be in awkward hours. I am going to be leaving the city today via train to go see a lovely lady and spend the next, you know, couple of... I'm not going to say too much, actually. I'm going to stay here forever, alright? So if you know where I live, you best be careful, yeah, because I'm going to be present. So, 12 tunes. Let's have a genuine, wholehearted, first-time listen and reaction experience. This one's entitled Walk on the Ocean.
We spotted the ocean, the head of the trail. Where are we going?
This a 90s act then, yeah? Let's have a dig. What information have we got? Don't have too much. Apparently this stems from an EP, or at least there was an EP that put out the Walk on the Ocean EP.
Somebody told me this is
That's a fat bass, eh?
where everything's better and everything's safe.
There's gonna be a chorus. It's gonna be a big chorus.
Half an hour later,
So, there's a Christian undertone, of course, with the metaphorical walking on the ocean, which Jesus Christ did. Jesus gets the credit because he did it first. He did the walking on the ocean before Toad the Wet Sprocket did. Let's keep going.
packed up all day.
Because initially I had approached that, you know, water is portrayed as emotion, right? The fluidity of emotion. Emotion means motion of energy. Energy motion, emotion. If you didn't know. You probably didn't know. Give me a like for that one, right? In esoteric terms. And initially my mind went there, but then I thought, holy shit, you know what? Quite plain and simple. Man like JC had a little dig. Not Jeremy Clarkson. He had a little walk around, didn't he?
Said we'd send letters. Don't
Not James Charles. Alright.
they knew we were lying.
Not Little Sexy Bum, yeah?
They smiled just the same. Seemed late already. Forgotten we came. Walk on the ocean.
Walk on the ocean.
Step on the stones. Flesh becomes water. Wood becomes bone. Walk on the ocean. Step on the stones. Flesh becomes water. Wood becomes bone.
The additional instrumentation gives it a very Irish sound. Where are these dudes from? I can't believe it'd be anything other than America, but there is an Irish feel to this. I mean, the second comment, this song keeps getting better 2024. The most bold American flag in the display image there.
Now back at the homestead, where the air makes you choke, and people don't know you. Trust is a joke.
Someone says, what I like about most band of the 90s is that they look like people you know from everyday life, not trying to look or act like rock stars. Put some respect on that, that's the truth. There's a comment I made on that on one of the last videos. We checked out one of the last bands we listened to, because the flamboyance of the 80s wore thin, and the 90s, you know, everybody was sort of like cool, calm, and grunge, really. What was grunge? Just sort of, you know, staying out of the shower a day or two, being a bit greasy, just being a rock and roller to whichever extent, you know. That's what I associate with. A little unkempt, you know.
Grows sweeter each season as we slowly grow. Walk on the ocean, step on the stone.
He sounds like someone. Sounds a bit like one of the dudes from Blink 182.
Step on the stone.
And he looks like, or gives off the same vibe as El Jefe from NoFX.
Flesh becomes water, wood becomes bone. Walk on the ocean, step on the stones. Flesh becomes water, wood becomes bone. Walk on the ocean, step on the stones. Flesh becomes water,
Great tune. Great tune. Great chorus, eh? I just sung it in the most wrong key you could ever. That was really good. What a corker of a start to this record. We're going to move on to another video now. Is It For Me? It's entitled. See you there. Yes, now, bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. Toad the Wet Sprocket. What sort of title for an act is that? We started off with a kick-ass track, and I'm looking forward to the second one. I'm not going to lie to you. Is It For Me? Track number 2. Let's find out. Is it or is it not? Let's go.
through the door. What do I see? Bradley said it's haunted, the house upon the hill. If we met at 4 a.m., then we would know for sure. We carry the ladders and lean them against it and climb them as we looked. Someone kicked a ladder. Bradley took a spill. Said his leg was broken, so we dragged him down the hill. Through the door, what do I see? Something is happening.
So I just read maybe this was put out in 91. Yeah, 1991. Sony BMG Music Entertainment. Fascinating. This sound is so close to the 80s, but you couldn't put it in the 80s. How almost like weird is the transition from the 80s to the 90s? Don't you think that's weird? You know a 90s band because you hear a 90s band. And you know an 80s band because you hear an 80s band. But the moment it's flipping 91, all of the bands are 90s bands. All have 90s sounds. Isn't that weird? This is a sound that would have done well as late as 97, 98, to be honest. I need to stop saying to be honest, but then again, I do bullshit a lot on this channel, to be honest with you. I like to make stuff up about bands that just make no sense from time to time, you know. I like to rewrite history a little bit, you know. If they can do it, why can't I? A bizarre song structure in this. Although the drummer looks like he should have been in a band in the 60s, to be honest. Not saying he looks old, but he looks like his style. He looks like a man who's come straight from the 60s. Brilliant. Frontman is very androgynous, you know, clean face, long hair, youthful aesthetic. Get this guy in a dress. I'm only joking, there's no such thing as trans people in the 90s, it's only a modern invention. Can't say that. You can't say that. What about the Romans, bro? Did you know in some religious scriptures they believe that there is 8 to 9 different genders? Maybe it's a spiritual ploy upon the people, but... I don't know. This world is too weird and wacky for me. All I'm saying is get this guy in a cute dress, little pink frock, and bring him back. Bring him back in 2025. Toad the Wet Sprocket. What the hell is Toad the Wet Sprocket? It is the biggest blag. Bruh, the most... This is as big a blag as a title as when we listen to the band Slick Shoes. I thought they've named the band Slick Shoes. They've named this band Toad the Wet Sprocket. Butterflies is coming up next. That was a good tune. It was a good tune. It wasn't as good as Walk on the Ocean. Walk on the Ocean had the banger of the chorus. Great big banging chorus. Moving onwards. Track number 3 coming up next. What's good, people? There's ROCKSTEADY, King of Pit TV, signing in. We are reclaiming, if not emphasising, the rights for androgynous looking pretty young men today, alright? I remember those days. Looking back, it makes me smile. Right. Can we move on forwards with our listen to Toad the Wet Sprocket? Yes. Butterflies is track number 3 of 12. Let's flip and go. This time, listen for goes out to my good man David, DM. David Mitchell, the famous comedian. Let's go. There's got to be many other famous David M's other than David Mitchell. Let me think. This Spyro music. It was me.
I asked my dad for a nickel and he gave it to me. It's kind of misty. I couldn't be sure what it was. And of course, he wouldn't tell me.
In time, I will collect the world. The eggs
The bass tone on this record is fat as hell, man.
and wings of butterflies. A man drove up in an ugly car and he flashed his lights and everything he saw and his eyes were red and his stereo was so loud you could hear the engines roar. He yelled at everybody in the road and did not notice all the
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
The screen flashed open. And all of a sudden, there it was. And I still couldn't tell. You know how when you get so close to something that big, you can't see anything at all.
I've heard that before. Heard that many times before.
In time, I will collect the world. The eggs I give and wings of butterflies. Mama said to the bug his arm and he looked at it with a lazy eye and he lifted up a gigantic can and he spread his fingers towards the sky. He nudged the moth to make it fly away, but moths are fragile things and he just wiped its body. He just wiped its body. He just wiped its body down across his shoulder blade. He's a wonder. He's a little black winged boy. Oh, my daughters, they'll fill you with joy. In time, I will collect the world. The hearts and limbs of butterflies.
Quite progressive in nature, that tune. Quite progressive. Some of the rhythmic elements were really good, like in particular the vocal line at times. There's a bridging section where the vocal line was quite good. Backing vocals were really good. I mean, I've given enough praise to the bass guitar. Great powerful drumming, you know. I don't think the production does the drumming too much justice, but, you know, it's audacious enough. Plenty of nice twinkling guitars. I'm pleased. I'm very pleased. Let's keep on. We got a brief one at only 2 minutes. Nightingale's Song coming up next. Hold on. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV signing in. Toad the Wet Sprocket with this album entitled Fear, I imagine. It must be. Nightingale's Song is the title of this one. Hey, we're on track number 4 already. Let's go. Ba 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 da ba ba ba. Town Called Malice. Great guitar work. Bum bum ba ba da dum.
We sing the nightingale song alive. Streets never border further than my eyes. We sing the nightingale song alive. We might be different, but our hearts won't lie. And little ever changes, if anything at all. But the song rings loudly through these halls.
A lot of God blessing in the references, you know, the misfortune of people passing. Is this actually a Christian act? It makes me think, because I did reference it briefly in association with Walk on the Ocean, that reference there as the first track. We do have a God reference here, but it's like not an uncommon you know, concept, is it, as far as like life is concerned, let alone music and artistry. Pray Your Gods is track number 6, so
We sing the nightingale song alive. We might be different, but our hearts won't lie. And little ever changes when you
there's a 1 hour 26-minute set of them performing in August 2014, Dallas, Texas.
view it from the sky. And the damage we encounter, Earth just passes by. Little
Sounds a little bit like Ian Brown of the Stone Roses.
ever changes, if anything
And oddly enough, like his hit song independently is entitled Fear.
at all, just remind ourselves how small we are.
Nice little brief number, punchy little kick drum. I like that. Kick drums and you know, like I call it a cowpunk sound. It's like the Bronnior stomp that Led Zeppelin put out, which I was a big fan of. Nothing wrong with just a nice punchy 4 to the floor kick, right, with a nice acoustic twiddle over the top. Nice little breather, plenty of space to talk over that one. We've got another video, Hold Her Down. Why would I want to do that? But it's coming up next, track number 5. See you there. It's Des, King of the Pit TV, signing in. Toad, the wet flipping sprocket, with the album Fear. Track number 5 of 12 is another music video entitled Hold Her Down. Let's go. These dudes make Spyro music, mate. Let's go.
Take her arms and hold her down and hold her down and hold her down and hold her down till she stops moving. Take her arms and hold her down and hold her down and hold her down and hold her down till she starts kicking. Now they don't know, but what the fuck, they got nothing else they can do.
Little bit punk rock here.
No reason, but still they come.
Just a little.
Have a hard time facing this crime. I've seen what a man can do. Take her arms and hold her down and hold her down and hold her down and hold her down.
Ba-ba-da-bam-bam. Not going to comment too much on the lyrical content because I've read that, like, you know, it's safe and sound, you know. It's a tough song to listen to, but yet so beautiful. Written to support their friends that survived an assault. Helps me get through mine.
She stops breathing. And they don't know, but what the fuck, they got nothing.
Thing is, you find that songs like these shouldn't need an explanation. Things of such topics, if they wish to be sensitive, if they wish to be like for people of, you know, triggering events and traumatizing situations, the song should not need interpretation or perhaps be interpreted in the wrong way, right? It should be a direct opposition to what is. Am I wrong in saying that? So I don't think it's optimal as far as the writing's concerned. That is art. Like, I don't care. This doesn't affect me personally, but I would just say if I was writing a tune, it wouldn't be, you know, potentially interpreted in the wrong way to, you know, negatively affect those I was actually writing in support for.
What else they can do? And there's no reason, but still they come out. Have a heart.
D. Libby says, I'm crying as a man listening to this song. Grow up, mate. Please speak out to everyone you know, says Lee.
Selfish and you.
Bruh, don't cry. Like, if anybody is a rapist in your surroundings, take some degree of action towards them. Police will do fuck all. You have to do it. All reported, well, not all, but, you know, there's such a high degree of reported, you know, abuse cases, to say the least, you know, without going into depth of what particular sort of abuse that gets reported. And it goes nowhere. It does go nowhere. Yeah. I learned that off of an ex-girlfriend of mine who was came from a feminist background, so she gave me the statistics and all of the insight when it considers that, you know, it's a sad, sad, sad situation. There needs to be street justice to resolve the situation, you know.
I wanna die from all the hell that you've been through.
Kiss Catastrophe said this was written in '88 in response to the attempted kidnapping, beating and attempted of two close friends of the band and of Glenn's girlfriend at the time. No one was actually hurt, thank God, but inspired the song. This is crazy. Himaria says this is one of the most empathic anti-R songs from men who are allies that I've ever heard. Bruh, chuck the word allies out of here, because truth of the matter is, or I should hope, maybe I'm living in La La Land. I don't have a woman's perspective, but as far as the people I know around me, the idea of like forcing yourself upon a woman to such a degree that it's considered that, you know, to say the least, we don't support that. And I don't want to be considered an ally because I'm not different. I just want to be considered a normal person who abides and believes in normal standards that should be, you know. Anyone who agrees otherwise, they're the ones who should be given the title. Anybody who just sort of is in, you know, defense of the woman, that's the realm of the masculine. The masculine should protect the feminine, so we're not allies, we should just be men, you know, and those who disagree are not men, right? What do I know, eh? I think to say allies is to like categorize an external force of people who aren't allies, and it's like, who the fuck other than rapists supports rape, you know? Yeah, bad situation. It's not good. It's not a good topic of conversation, to be honest. Pray Your Gods coming up next. Yes. See you there. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV signing in. Track 6 of 12 on Toad the Wet Sprocket is Pray Your Gods. The album is Fear, devoted to David Mitchell of the duo Mitchell and Webb. The comedy British duo, whom I do admire dearly. I enjoyed Peep Show, and I enjoyed that Mitchell and Webb look. Yeah, it's not really David Mitchell, but let me give some love to my man Dave for making a great recommendation here. Let's jump in. Sounds like Metallica. What's that Metallica tune? Creeping Death or something? Fade to Black, someone references. Maybe that's it, yeah. And someone says, lol, no. Tom, you know Nafor, mate. It's very like it. It's very like it. I thought it was Creeping Death.
They are strong and angry, jealous ones. Or lay upon my altar now your love. I fear my time is short. There are armies moving close. Be quick, my love.
Lovely vocal. Fantastic outro. They're absolutely glorious feminine vocal there. Overall, the tune was a different energy. I liked it, but it was definitely a change from the normal guitar-driven, you know, poppier elements of the band. It didn't go amiss. That was really good. That was a really good middle song, you know, to separate the two sections. I thought that was good. Yeah, that was really good. Before You Were Born is track number 7 coming up next. Yes, now bless now. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV, continuing onwards with Toad, the Wet Sprocket. This album is entitled Fear, and track 7 of 12 is entitled Before You Were Born, which I think is quite a cool title for a song. This listen through goes out to my friend David, who recommended us on the Patreon. Let's go.
How can it happen every time you ask us this question? The answer seems like a lie. You know what we're saying, you know what we mean, and it's always sincere, God knows, but it never gets through the way you need. Before you were born, someone kicked in the door. There's no place for you here, stay back where you belong. Before you were born, someone kicked in the door. You were not wanted here anymore. Goddamn the people who left you in pain. Goddamn the father without face, without name. Goddamn the lovers who never showed up. And goddamn the wounds that show how deep a word can cut. Before you were born, someone kicked in the door. There's no place for you here, stay back where you belong. Before you were born, someone kicked in the door. You were not wanted here, stay back where you belong.
Lovely guitar there.
Nothing is changing. Everything's wrong. Pain is the healing, and tears sting like alcohol. Oh, just keep on there breathing. We'll help you down.
This is bleak. Servant of King Jesus says this song is so real to many of us. I was born to be the family scapegoat, hated for just existing. Even when my only child passed, they didn't come to my child's funeral, and continue to stalk me to this day despite cutting those evil people off. That's so bleak, man. God bless, yeah. God bless, no doubt. This song could not be written in 2024, says Chris. Glenn would be considered a wacko right-wing extremist. Let's have a look at the lyrical content, shall we? Gavin, do we have it? We don't even have lyrics, but let's give some props to the band members here. We got Gavin McKillop on production, bass, keyboards and vocals, Dean Dinning, G. Phillips, composer and lyricist credits, Don Evans on the engineering, Todd Nichols, guitars and vocals, composer and lyricist credits, T. Nichols, Todd. Engineer, John Fosrud, if that's how you pronounce it, Glenn Phillips on the vocals, guitars and mandolin, R. Gus, D. Dinning, Gavin McKillop, Bernie Grunman and Randy Gus on the drums.
There's no place for you here. Stay back where you belong. Before you were born, someone
Hey, I'm the black sheep, me. I think most of us creative types end up being so, right? Why would we be interested in alternate forms of art if it didn't speak to us?
someone kicked in the door. There's no place for you here. Stay back where you belong. Before you were born, someone kicked in the door. You were not here to stay back where you belong. Before you were born, someone kicked in the door. There's no place for you here. Stay back where you belong. Before you were born, someone kicked in the door. We'll help you down the long road.
Cool song. I thought it would have been relatively tame, like Pray Your Gods, you know? There's somewhat of an escalation. I say that because we're still quite clean, acoustified on the guitars and whatnot. Good songwriting. Didn't necessarily thoroughly grasp the concept of the song. The comment section explained, you know, how it should be perceived, but I didn't, you know, I would have liked to have had the lyrical content for that one, and I'm not a very lyrical guy, but, you know, this is a song that might have spoken to me to some extent, given I, you know, sort of appreciated what was said in the comments by those whom engaged with this lyrical content. We've got something to say coming up next, alright people? There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV signing in. Track 8 of 12 on Toad, the Wet Sprockets album Fear is entitled Something to Say. Let's jump in. We've gone a little bit softer on this part of the record. We kicked in at the start a bit more of an upbeat, poppier, you know, element, and now we're simmering down a bit, you know? I like this. You can show me your home, not the place where you live, but the place where you belong. That's the truth, eh?
He's got a thing about losing.
Speaking of God and Jesus in the music industry, a couple of rappers have come out, you know, Americanized, you know, rappers that might be signed to push a particular agenda, right? And they said they got given a contract, and it said within the contractual basis that they weren't allowed to reference Jesus in the lyrical content and conceptual stuff. That's crazy, isn't it? You wonder why, right? You wonder why. You wonder why Jesus is used as a mockery, symbol of a mockery, and they create this clear disdain via the media and via the conceptual basis of like a lot of television and media and stuff. I don't do it. I ain't got a television. I ain't had a television since I moved out of the house. Like, I'm completely, well, I would like to say I'm propaganda free, I'm message free, but come on, I'm on YouTube. You can't avoid it. You can't walk through the city centre without some degree of, you know, devilish medium trying to penetrate your mind through an oblique and indirect manner, you know, utilised by the corporate system as a vehicle to express that which looks over this world. Yeah.
carries it a mile just to see how far he'll go.
The funny thing is, you hear something like a guy coming forth and saying, oh yeah, it says in the contract I can't mention Jesus, and at this point you don't even question it. You're just like, is that really surprising, you know?
Brushes up his chops as he tries to fake a smile. A friend indeed, but I need someone to stay a while. Someone to stay a while. You can bend my ear. We will talk all day. Just make sure I'm around when you find I got something to say. Job sense, but he won't tell you what's really on his mind. But I know if I look, it's easy to find. He's got away with his anger, the way he lets it show, like the smoldering smoke when the fire's left the coals. Fire's left the coals. You can take me down. You can show me your home. Not the place where you live, but the place where you belong.
There's been some great instrumentation on this record, like unique choice of instruments that have all played their role very well. They've not stolen the forefront, they've not made like song by song the whole point of showing off this like new added instrument. They've sort of been within the background and aided in the harmonic element without stealing the show, you know, which is right. You don't want to create a whole song with a great meaning, great lyrical content and fantastic structure just for it to be, oh, it's that song with the banjo, and it's just like that's one song out of 12 songs, and it's, you know, that song with the accordion, and it's like, well, the 11 songs additional don't have accordions, so, you know, if that was the selling point, I've kind of shot myself in the foot by actually adding that onto the record, you know?
You can bend my ear. We will talk all day. Just make sure I'm around when you find I got something to say. He's always got the time to give a little something, even though it gets behind. Your trips become his, and your lives are entwined. But like the horse with the junkie, it's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. You can take me down. You can show me your home. Not the place where you live, but the place.
I find the album artwork, I don't know what this symbolizes, what this particular character is upon the front. An angel of sorts, right? But the eyes are so piercing. And it looks like there's something coming from the eyes, like butterfly wings. It's quite frightening, in all honesty. Quite frightening. But then again, the record's called Fear.
You can bend my ear. We will talk all day. Just make sure I'm around when you finally got something to say. Finally got something. Finally got something. Finally got
Something to say.
something.
Lovely cadence. Lovely reprisal there of that accordion instrument. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Lovely tune. I want us to introduce that, you know, electric guitar once again. We've got In My Ear coming up next. I want a reintroduction to the electric, because we've had 3 songs back to back now which have been, you know, very, very acoustified, very singer-songwriter as opposed to like more of a pop-esque approach. I want to hear, cause think about it, that first track, the chorus on that was a flipping banger. We need to get my guy back on the chorus section. In My Ear coming up next. Yes now, bless now. Don't forget to rest now. Des Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Whoa! In My Ear is the title of this one, track 9 of 12. Toad the Wet Sprocket is the act we're listening to. Fear is the record. This listen through goes out to my good man, David, who recommended this on the Patreon. One love, my brother. Let's go. Bringing the electrified guitar back. That's what I want to hear. Lovely synth.
Didn't know they were a part of it, I can't tell. It would seem there's a lot that I don't know. But here I am and I'm standing.
It's nice to hear that bass guitar back in the mix.
I could not go far enough away from you. Seen it all before, you know it's only words. Hello, I can hear it's in my ear. Hello, never meant half of the things that I said to you. So you know, there's a half that might be true. Here I am and I'm standing with the perfect view. I could not go far enough away from you. Seen it all before, I know it's only words. Hello, have you heard us sing the word hello?
Hello. Love the little lead. I don't care what anybody says. Every overdriven guitar solo from the 90s sounds like Oasis. This came out before any of Oasis works. I don't care. It's all Noel Gallagher to me, people.
Standing with the perfect view, I could not go.
Any pentatonic guitar solo in a mid-tempo fashion over a 3 or 4 open chord pattern is Oasis. Don't get it twisted.
Far enough away from you. Seen it all before, I know it's only words. Hello, I can hear it's in my ear.
Hello, hello, lo, 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 lo.
Have you heard us sing the word hello?
Wonderful, wonderful. Back to where we needed to be. Back into the clean, twangy, overdriven guitars. The bass back in the mix. Lovely poppy chorus. That was great. I enjoyed the songs before, but that was a great elevation from the acoustified songs. Brilliant. Another music video, All I Want, coming up next. 12 million views. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV signing in. Listening to Toad the Wet Sprocket with the album Fear. Track 10 of 12 comes with a video. 3 music videos on this... 4 music videos on this record. Can you believe it? All I Want. Let's go. Track 10. 12 million views. Amazing.
Nothing so loud. Hearing when we lie. Truth is not kind. And you said neither am I. And the air outside so soft. You're saying everything. All I want is to feel this way. To be this close. To feel the same.
Surrender, surrender, but don't let it away.
All I want is to feel this way. The evening speaks. I feel it say. Nothing so cold. Closing the heart when all we need is to free the soul. But we wouldn't be that brave, I know. And the air outside so soft, confessing everything. Everything. All I want is to feel this way, to be this close, feel the same. All I want is to feel this way. The evening speaks, feel it say. And it won't matter now.
Come on!
Whatever happens will be. Though the air speaks.
I'll tell you what, this bridge section, normally the bridge section settles down a bit to really elevate the last chorus. This last chorus has got to be a flipping belter if it needs to grow from this bridge, because he's hammering on this bridge section.
The wall will never be. It won't trouble me.
Give it to me, doctor.
Be this close, feel the same.
Some Billy Elliot going on in this music video.
The evening speaks, feel it say. Feel this way, let everything ever say. Oh, feel this way, I can feel it say.
That was a banger, that. Whatever happens will be. That was a great number. That was a great number. Great chorus, great energy, great twinkling guitars, great chord progression. Flipping belting vocal. Brilliant. Best track on the record. Nah, first track. It's either the first track or this one. I reckon this one. I reckon this one might be better than the first. Stories I Tell coming up next. See you there. Yes, now bless now, people. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. Track 11 of 12 on the album Fear by the band Toad the Wet Sprocket is entitled Stories I Tell. Let's go. We've got 2 longer ones to finish the record off, both over 5 minutes. Closer to 6 minutes.
Yes, it is a word for which I have no use. And I wasn't looking for heaven or hell. Someone to listen to stories I tell. between portraits and nuns, what it seems. Why is it some would expect there's change when I feel I'm a part of something I can't see? And I feel the same. Don't offer questions or I will retreat. Fame is a cancer and ego it seems. And I wasn't looking for heaven or hell. Just someone to listen to stories I tell.
Good build up.
Subtle salvation in poems and prose, hiding our heads in some shadow of home. And I wasn't looking for wreaths or for bells, someone to listen to stories I tell.
But
Stories I tell.
pouring the reverb on this one, huh? Quite a gothic one, this, huh? Quite a bit of a miserable one in its own way, at least in the tonality and the sound and the heaviness of this. Bam, ba da da ba bam, bam. Quite a powerful number, that one, you know? Not so much the hook-laden pop songs we can receive from them, or the cleaner sounding acoustified songs. Quite a slow and steady build throughout the entirety of that, build into quite an intense, you know, finish You know, that isn't a tune that you could have on a regular basis. That's for special occasions, that one, I think. That's for special occasions. And given that that's track 11 of 12, I am curious of what they finish with. What sort of energy are they going to finish this record with? Let's finish off. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of Pit TV signing in. Toad the Wet Sprocket is the act, or known as Toad as the fans call him. Fear is the album, and track 12 of 12 is I Will Not Take These Things for Granted. This list through goes out to David, who recommended this on the Patreon. Let's jump in. Fascinated to see how they end this record.
Part of me just wants to tell you everything. One part just needs the quiet. And if I'm lonely here, I'm lonely here. And on the telephone, you offer reassurance. I will not take these things for granted. I will not take these things. How can I hold the part of me that only you can carry? Needs a strength I haven't found. But if it's frightening, I'll bear the cold. And on the telephone, you offer warm asylum. I'm listening. Flowers in the garden, laughter in the hall, children in the park. I will not take these things for granted. I will not take these things for granted. I will not take these things for granted. I will not take these things anymore.
Anymore.
Inside the wine, feel something near me. To feel this acceptance
Bling.
that it is lonely here, but not alone.
No, no,
On
no.
the telephone, you offer visions dancing. I'm listening. Music in the bedroom, laughter in the hall. Dive into the ocean, singing by the fire, running through the forest, standing in the wind, the rolling canyons. I will not take these things for granted.
Mainstream Records, Columbia Records, Sony Music.
For granted. I will not take these things for granted. I will not take these things anymore.
Da 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 da. Ba dum bum. Ba da 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 da. Da 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 da. Great melody. Great melody.
I will not take these things for granted.
Ra-da-da-da-da-da.
I will not take these things for granted. I will not take these things for granted. I will not take these things for granted. To the ocean. I will not take these things for granted. I will not take these things for
I will not take these things for granted. Great tune, great message, fantastic, phenomenal guitar line there at the end. I was a very big fan of that. That was splendid. Great writing on that lead guitar there. I'm gonna do one last video. I'll call it a day, and I'll rate this record out of 10. I'll go over this album as a whole. And tell you what I think of it, and go get a cup of coffee and get a shower, to be honest with you. See you there. Yes, now bless now, people. There's ROCKSTEADY King of the Pit TV signing in. We just listened to a new record, and when I say a new record, this was like, I have never ever come across this man in my life. This is Toad the Wet Sprocket, or as the fans called him, to abbreviate, Toad. The album was Fear, and it was recommended on Patreon to me by my friend David. Thank you very much, David. 90s band, 91 this was put out. 12 tracks. Never, ever, ever heard this band referenced, and never, ever come across this band's music before. Where do we start? Production. Good production, alright? Nothing abnormal for the times. Songwriting was good. I would argue that the actual songwriting, the tones of the guitars and so forth, which I guess is part of the production, you know, I'm talking sound engineer, but as far as like the actual guitar work and the tones and sounds we were hearing, I would say it sounds a little bit like later than 91. It sounds to me like a record that should have been out in 96, 97. With all the most respect, like that's a really good thing. To sound ahead of your time is like brilliant. It's not great for an artist because you're not going to garner the reception you deserve, but it means that you're ahead of the curve, which is a great showcase of your capability of being an artist. Relatively simple work, you know, we're looking at 4-chord songs, actual singer-songwriter songs, using the vehicle of like pop music, pop rock music, you know, acoustified pop rock, if not a little bit distorted to get the point across. 2 great songs on this record in particular, that is 2 music videos. All I Want is track number 10, and Walk on the Ocean is track number 1. They are both fantastic songs, great chorus sections. I really like them tunes. Must have had a little bit of a budget because they've got pretty good music videos, to say the least, and they've got 4 of them in this album. So Sony Records were giving them a couple of quid to do a job, you know. Probably a Christian band, you know, plenty of God reference in the comment, to say the least, and, you know, a couple of bits and bobs here and there, what made me think, yeah, you know what, this is probably a Christian act, if not, you know, one that appeals to a particular market that is more likely to be so, and I put respect on that. I appreciate that, you know. I think that's good. I think that's really good. Lead guitar was pretty cool. We had some good twinkles in the album, good use of dual guitars, good use of backing vocals. The vocal line was good. I enjoyed his vocals. His songwriting meant a lot to a lot of people. You know, a lot of people were referencing, you know, deeply personal things in the comment section, and how they, you know, associate and relate it to this particular record and this band or these songs as individual songs. And that's incredible, right? What more of an honor could you have as an artist to engage with people on such an emotional and deep level? Drummer was alright. You know, nothing I can point a finger at. The bass tone was fat as hell when it wanted to be. When they did the more pop-driven, upbeat, electrified songs, the bass guitar sounded incredible. Really good bass guitar on them songs. If I'm going to rate this record, I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. I'll give it a 6.5. It's a little too soft for me. A little too soft. A little too conceptual and lyrical in the songwriting. I'm okay with too soft as long as they get them choruses in. Chorus, 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 each and every song. Artists don't want to do that because you have to compartmentalize yourself into a formula. No artist wants to work by a formula. It's boring as hell. It's sellout central, but that's what I want to hear if we're soft. Chorus, 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 hook, melody, hook, melody, hook, melody. Lyrically, I'm not too fussed. I'm signing out on that note. Peace, people. Goodbye.